Painted walls. You can repaint a wall, but you can't repaint the cracks behind it. That was the unwritten rule at Aguhon National High School, a school tucked in a forgotten corner of town where the morning bell rang loud, but hope rang faint. Here, the walls looked fine from a distance. The posters were laminated. The slogans were catchy. The vision mission was mounted perfectly beside the principal's photo. But if you sat in the back of a classroom, or stayed late after dismissal, you'd hear it, the quiet sound of a school holding its breath, hoping no one looks too closely. It was a place where survival looked like success, as long as no one asked questions. The school was tired. Not just from age, but from the weight of pretending. Classrooms had holes in the ceiling, and when it rained, students would scoot their chairs to avoid the leaks. The science lab was more of an empty room with expired chemicals and posters from 2002. The library had more dust than books. And yet, every time a supervisor or division head would announce a visit, the school transformed overnight. Broken desks were hidden in the stockroom. Outdated visual aids were taped on walls to give the illusion of active learning. Model students were picked and told what to say. Borrowed books from other schools were temporarily shelved. Teachers rehearsed lesson plans they didn't use, and students were told, smile. Sit straight. Say the school vision mission when asked. To the eyes of a guest, the school was doing fine, sometimes even excellent. Commendations were given, pictures taken, and smiles exchanged. But the next day, things returned to their tired truth. The walls sagged, the lessons dragged, and everyone exhaled, until the next visit. And then came Leah. She was a transferee from the city, soft-spoken and observant. Her eyes caught things that others had learned to ignore. She saw how Ma'am Grace, her English teacher, taught with a voice that used to be passionate, now only polite. She saw how students shared one textbook between 4 people. She noticed how a tarpaulin of top-performing school hung proudly in a corridor that hadn't been cleaned in weeks. Leah had heard of this kind of pretending. Her father, a public school teacher himself, had died still waiting for his retirement pay. He used to say, "The system rewards what looks good, not what works." Leah began writing everything down in a small notebook. Not for revenge, but for record. For truth. She showed her notes to Ma'am Grace, hesitantly. The teacher's eyes widened, not from shock, but from remembering. Remembering what it felt like to want change. Together, they quietly started collecting stories. Anonymous accounts from teachers and students, late salaries, broken printers, modules that never arrived, mental health struggles ignored, lessons rushed to meet quotas. They called their little project, What You Don't See. When another division visit was announced, the school did what it always did, painted the walls, faked the charts, printed perfect class records. But Leah and Ma'am Grace left something different. A sealed envelope, placed discreetly on the supervisor's desk. Inside was a letter. What you don't see when you visit us. This school looks presentable today, but this is not our everyday. We have students who skip lunch because they can't afford food. Teachers who teach 6 subjects outside their field just to fill in the gaps. Books that are older than some of the students. The internet is non-existent. But we smile. We decorate. We rehearse what to say. Not because we are liars, but because we are survivors. We don't want pity. We want honesty. We want help. Don't grade us by our posters. Grade us by our potential, if only we were given the chance. A student. A teacher. A school that just wants to be seen. The letter caused murmurs. It was passed from desk to desk in the division office. Some dismissed it. Some grew defensive. But a few paused. And asked real questions. Quietly, things began to shift. The next school year, a surprise visit was made. No announcements. No rehearsals. This time, the classrooms were messy, but honest. The real student council spoke up. A young supervisor, newly hired, sat down with Ma'am Grace and asked, "What do you need?" No miracles came overnight. But the lies stopped. The school remained poor, but no longer silent. Leah graduated quietly, but her story remained. Her letter was never signed, but everyone remembered, and the school? Still waiting for new books. still patching up old rooms. Now, voices echoed in the halls, not just of students but of truth. Because in a place where everyone was told to pretend, one student told the truth. And that truth, though quiet, began to grow. A school's greatness isn't measured by decorated walls or staged reports, but by the courage to admit what's broken, and the hope to begin fixing it.